Hi, I'm Dimple and welcome to Scholar's Mentor. This is the second part in the video where we have been solving questions from Teaching and Research Aptitude, that is Paper 1 questions that appeared in UGC NET December 2025 attempt in the Home Science question paper. So in this video, we will deal with questions from logical reasoning, data interpretation, ICT or information and communication technology, people development and environment, and the final chapter, higher education system. Just like the previous videos, I want you to sit along with a pen and paper, read all the questions and the 4 options along with me, pause the video, solve the questions by yourself, and then play the video again to see if your answer is the correct answer or not. So if unfortunately your answer turns out to be incorrect, do not worry. We are here to learn. So follow along the little tips and tricks that I share with you so you can arrive at the right answer today and even on the day of the final exam. So let's get into the video and let me start by sharing my screen. I hope you can see the screen now. So in this video, we will start with Unit 6. The first question here is, just look around yourself. Everything around is so intelligently organized. Obviously, this world must have been created by an intelligent God. Which of the following fallacy is committed in the above argument? Hasty generalization, begging the question, equivocation, or slippery slope. It is important for you to understand the 4 options before you begin to answer this question. I hope you have chosen your answer now. The correct answer is begging the question. This fallacy is a logical error where argument premise assumes the truth of this conclusion, essentially using the claim itself as its own proof. This makes the argument a closed loop. Okay, so like obviously this world must have been created by an intelligent God. Alright, so it is important for you to understand what the other 3 options mean also. This is important for all questions or topics of logical reasoning because these are concepts that you might not have studied in school or college. So these are new concepts. So it is important for you to be aware of what each term means. The next question is, if the statement, no fishes are mammals, is given as false, then which of the following proposition can be immediately inferred to be true? The statement in question here is no fishes are mammals, and they are saying this statement is false. Based on this, which of the 4 options can be true? Some fishes are mammals, all fishes are mammals, some fishes are not mammals, and all mammals are fishes. I hope you have chosen your answer now. So the correct answer is some fishes are mammals. Question says no fishes are mammals is false. Okay, so that's why you can assume that some fishes are mammals, right? And the other 3 options, when they say no fishes are mammals is false, it doesn't mean that all the fishes are supposed to be mammals, right? You don't know whether all fishes are mammals. The third option says some fishes are not mammals. We don't know whether all fishes are mammals or some fishes are not mammals, right? So that clarity is not given in the question. So I hope you understood this question and answer. So the next question is, which of the following statements are logically equivalent? All non-bovines are cats. No cats are bovines. All cats are non-bovines. No bovines are cats. Okay, so the 4 options are BCB, AC, BB, and ABC. Okay, so the correct answer is BCD. No cats are bovine. Okay, which also means that all cats are non-bovine, right? Because no cat is bovine. So all are non-bovine. And no bovines are cats. The next question in logical reasoning is, which of the following statements are true? Validity is an attribute of deductive argument. Validity can be attributed to any single proposition. In a valid argument, all of its premises have to be true. A valid deductive argument cannot have all true premises and a false conclusion. So the 4 options are BC, ACB, AB, and CD. Okay, so the correct answer is option 3, A and B. Validity is an attribute of deductive argument, and a valid deductive argument cannot have all true premises question in logical reasoning is, which of the following argument is fallacious because the middle term is present in both positive and negative instances and violates the rule that it should not be present in the negative instances. Option 1 is fire is cold because it is a substance. The second option, the hill has fire because it is knowable. The third option is sound is eternal because it is produced. And the fourth option is wherever there is fire, there is smoke. The correct answer is option 2. The hill has fire because it is knowable. Alright, so this question is from the Indian logic part. And the middle term here is present in both positive and negative instances and violates the rule that it should not be present in the negative instance. Why? Because this describes the fallacy called Savya Bhikara. Okay, so a hill without fire is also knowable, right? So the option says the hill has fire because it is knowable. But a hill without fire is also knowable. So knowable here is present in both positive and negative instances. Alright, so moving on to unit 7 questions that appeared in the UGC NET December 2025 home science question paper. Okay, so the data interpretation part, most of the question paper comes with one big term or problem and 5 questions based on it. So let's see what the problem here is and then look at each question individually. The question here is, the following table shows the marks obtained by 6 students A to F. Okay, so on the first column here, you can see all the students A to F in 6 different subjects S1 to S6. So each column here after the student column is the marks out of each subject, that is S1 to S6. Okay, so the following table shows the marks obtained by 6 students A to F in 6 different subjects S1 to S6, having 160, 160, 120, 120, 200 and 240 as maximum marks respectively. Based on the data in the table, answer the following question. So the tricky part here is, for all the 6 subjects, the maximum score is different. In case for all the 6 subjects, the maximum score had been 100 or 200, solving these questions would have been slightly more easier. But there is a catch that I'm going to show you when we solve the question of how you can deal with all of these different maximum mark subjects. And let's see what the 5 questions are. First question here is, what is the overall respective percentages of marks scored by student A and student B in all the subjects together? So they want you to find out what is the overall percentage scored by student A and student B in all the subjects together, that is S1 to S6. The 4 options are 55 and 62.8%, 56 and 63.8%, 57 and 61.8%, 59 and 64.8%. Now I want you to pause the video, solve the question by yourself using a pen and paper, and then play the video again to find out if your answer is the correct answer. Now there are multiple ways of solving this question. You can either convert each subject score as a percentage of 100 and then figure out, or there is a very interesting way that I'm going to show you in the steps that follow. Alright, I hope you have chosen your answer. Let's see what the correct answer is. So the interesting part that I was mentioning previously was that when you add the maximum marks of all the subjects, that is S1 to S6, the final mark is 1000. If somebody had scored complete marks in all the 6 subjects, their score would be 1000. So 160 plus 160 plus 120 plus 120 plus 200 plus 240 will give you 1000. That makes calculating percentages very, very easy. So what you have to do is add up all the marks scored by student A and add up all the marks scored by student B. So student A marks would be 590 and student B's marks would be 648. And converting this to percentage becomes very easy now. So 590 becomes 59% and 648 becomes 64.8%. And hence option 4 becomes the correct answer. The next question in data interpretation is, what is the average mark scored by all the students in the subject 5 and subject 6 respectively? The 4 options are 140 to 130, 144, 128, 146, 130, 148, 126. So they are asking what is the average marks scored in subject S5 by all students and of subject 6 scored by all students. So the correct answer is option 3, 146 and 130. Irrespective of whatever the maximum score was, because you have to find average, all you have to do is add up all the 6 marks of S5 and divide by 6, and add up all the marks of S6 and divide by 6. So you will directly get 146 and 130. The next question in data interpretation is, what is the ratio of the total marks scored by student B in all the subjects to the total marks scored by student E in all the subjects? Option 1, 26 is to 27. Option 2 is 108 is to 103. Option 3 is 16 is to 17. And option 4 is 46 is to 47. So they want you to find out the ratio, okay, of the total marks scored by student B. All the marks scored by student B to the total marks scored by student E in all the subjects. Correct answer is option 2, that is 108 is to 103. If you add up all the marks of student B, you will get 648. If you add up all the marks of student E, you will get 618. So the ratio is 648 is to 618. Don't get scared by seeing the number. Okay, start with simple divisions. So if you just divide both the numbers by 2, you will get 324 is to 309. And because both of these are divisible by 3 again, it will give you 108 is to 103. Okay, so I hope you understood how we got this answer. The next question in data interpretation is, if for getting first division, a student needs to score minimum 65% marks in aggregate, then the number of students getting first division is option 1 is 5, option 2 3, option 3 2, and option 4 1. So they are asking how many students got first division when the minimum score to get first division is 65% overall. Okay, so you will use the same logic that we used in a previous question, and you can see that because the total marks for all the 6 subjects add up to 1000, 65% of 1000 is 650. So all you have to do is just add up all the marks scored by each student. Okay, so if you add up all the marks of student A, you will get 590, of student B 648, student C is 638, student D is 666, student E is 618, and student F is 546. So you see only student D has crossed the mark of 650, and hence option 4, that is one student gets first division. Alright, so the last question in data interpretation is, the marks scored by student B and student C together in subject S1 is approximately what percent more than the marks scored by student A, student B, and student E together in the same subject. Question might seem a little complicated, but just break it down into parts and will help you solve. I hope you have solved the question. Let's see what the answer is. So when you add up the scores of student B and student C in S1, you get 248. And when you add up for A, D, and E, you get 228. So 248 minus 228 is 20. So what percent is it of 228? So 20 is 8.77% of 228, and hence option 1 becomes the correct answer. Alright, so now moving on to the questions of ICT that appeared in UGC NET Home Science December 2025 paper. So the first question based on ICT is, which of the following is labeled as the second cell? Is it telephone, is it radio, is it television, or is it computer? This is a very direct, straightforward question. Alright, so the correct answer here is, of course, computer. The next question on ICT is, an exciting new evolution of the World Wide Web, WWW, providing machine-readable and machine-comprehensible information far beyond the current capabilities is called what? Is it dynamic web? Is it web browser? Is it semantic web? Or is it static web? And the correct answer, of course, is semantic web. The next question is, what is Bluetooth technology? Option 1, It means the technology can travel with the user. For instance, users can download software, email messages, and web pages onto a laptop or other mobile devices. Option 2, it refers to any type of operation accomplished without the use of a hardwired connection. Option 3, it refers to a wireless personal area network technology that transmits signals over short distances among cell phones, computers, and other devices. It provides communication for devices owned by a single user that work over a short distance. Even if you have not read the concept about Bluetooth technology but have used it on one of your devices, I'm sure you can answer this question. Just look at the four options and see what you can actually do with the Bluetooth technology. Of course, it is a wireless personal area network technology. So option 3 becomes the correct answer. Alright, so this is the next question on ICT. Match list 1 with list 2 in context of Microsoft Excel. So list 1 talks about the different cell references and list 2 talks about definition and feature. So the first definition is mixed reference, row is fixed and column is changeable when fill handle is used. Second definition is mixed reference, column is fixed and row is changeable when fill handle is used. Third definition is absolute reference, column and row are fixed when fill handle is used. Fourth option, or rather fourth definition is relative reference, column and row are changeable when fill handle is used. Okay, so it is important for you here to know what the dollar symbol in Microsoft Excel represents. And once you know that, I think this is a very, very easy question. Okay, so I hope you have chosen your answer. And of course, the correct answer is option 1, which is A3, B1, C4, D2. So you have to understand here that the dollar symbol fixes the row and the column. That's why the cell reference 1, that is $D, $5, is an absolute reference because both the column and row are fixed. And list 1 C B5 becomes relative reference because both column and row are changeable. Hence, option 1 becomes the correct answer. The next question in ICT is, which of the following statements are true with reference to the evolution of www? Web 2.0 is the participative social web. Web 1.0 is the ready-only web. Three main applications of Web 2.0 are YouTube, wikis, and blogs. Web 3.0 is the read, write, execute web. And the four options are ABC, AC, BD, and ABCD. Okay, so if you have read about the versions of www, this is going to be an easy question. And if you get this question wrong, I want you to go back and read about features of each version. Okay, so option 4, ABCD are all correct. With that, we come to the end of Unit 8, that was ICT, and now moving on to the questions from Unit 9, that is People, Development, and Environment. The first question here is, when did India become party to Convention to Biodiversity, that is CBD, 1992, 1993, 1994, or 1995? Be very careful, it is not asking when was CBD started. It is asking when did India become party to the CBD. Okay, so the correct answer is 1994. So CBD was adopted in 1992 at the Rio Earth Summit, but India became a party to it on February 18, 1994. Whenever you read questions and you are not very clear of what the exact answer is, the idea here is to go back and read that concept again to be more confident on it. All right. The next question, which of the following is a kind of wave generated during an earthquake? Is it N wave, O wave, P wave, or Q wave? If you can recall reading the graph when studying about earthquakes, this should be an easy answer. The correct answer, of course, is P wave. So in the concept of earthquake, you study about P wave, S wave, Rayleigh wave, and log wave. So the correct answer is option 3, P wave. The next question here is, geothermal power plants are much like fossil and nuclear plants, with the exception of no requirement of what? Vapor-dominated hydrothermal resources, boiler, fission reactor, turbine generator. And the four options are ABC, BC, AD, BCD. This question is from the concept of geothermal power plant and how is it different from fossil and nuclear plants. So the correct answer is option 2, that is D and C. So geothermal power plants do not have a requirement for boiler and fission reactor. So the next question is, what is the correct increasing order of global warming potential of the following greenhouse gases? Chlorofluorocarbon 11, methane, carbon dioxide, nitrous oxide. And the four options are ABDC, CBDA, CBBA, ABBC. So the idea here is to identify which is the greenhouse gas with the lowest global warming potential and which is the greenhouse gas with the highest global warming potential. Seeing the four options, you can figure out that the least has to either be chlorofluorocarbon 11 or carbon dioxide, and the highest could also be chlorofluorocarbon 11 and carbon dioxide. So you have to be very, very sure of which is the highest and which is the least. That will help you to boil down to two options out of the four. And then you have to find out which among methane and nitrous oxide has the lower global warming potential and then put it in an order. Okay, so the correct answer, of course, is CBDA. So carbon dioxide has the least global warming potential, followed by methane, followed by nitrous oxide, and finally chlorofluorocarbon 11. So the next question is, in which of the water treatment processes additional BOD, that is biological oxygen demand, is provided to remove the biological material? Is it the primary treatment process, or is it secondary, or is it tertiary, or is it the advanced? Okay, so in which of the treatment process of wastewater do you come across BOD? Of course, option 2, the secondary treatment process is the correct answer, where biological treatment of organic and nutrient happens. Okay, so with that, we move on to the final unit questions that appeared in UGC NET December 2025 home science paper. The first question here is, the Shimla Conference of 1901 was described by Lord Curzon as High Level Education Commission, High Power Education Commission, Secret Education Commission, or Confidential Education Commission. Of course, the correct answer is Secret Education Mission. It was given the nickname of Secret Education Commission because its proceedings and 150 resolutions were never publicly released at that time. The next question is, which of the following ancient university was situated on the banks of River Krishna in Vidarbha? Is it Sridhanya Katak? Is it Takshila? Is it Nalanda? Or is it Sakya? So, of course, the correct answer is Sridhanya Katak. And I also want you to go back and study where the other three universities are located as well. So, the next question is, which of the following universities were considered as institutions of national importance at the commencement of our constitution? Banaras Hindu University, Aligarh Muslim University, Delhi University, Hyderabad University, Calicut University. And the four options are ABC, BCB, CBE, ABE. Now, as we discussed previously in some of the questions, there are 5 universities mentioned, but all the 4 options have only 3 universities. So all you have to boil down or to eliminate 2 universities which were not considered as institutions of national importance. Or on the other hand, if you're very confident of a particular university being an institution of national importance, then you can start eliminating a few options. I hope you have chosen your answer, and of course, ABC is the correct answer. Option 1, that is Banaras Hindu University, Aligarh Muslim University, and Delhi University were all institutions of national importance at the commencement of our constitution. Next question is, environmental education must include topics of personal hygiene, biological diversity, waste management, pollution, wildlife conservation. And the 4 options are ABC, BCBE, ABDE, and ACBE. So again, there are 5 topics given in the question, and all the options are either 3 or 4. So start eliminating one or two topics, and ultimately you will have the answer at your hand. So the correct answer, of course, is option 2, BCBE, because personal hygiene doesn't become a part of environmental education. Next question is match the following. So committee or commissions are matched with their chairman. First, Indian Education Commission, Indian University Commission, Calcutta University Commission, Council of Education. And the chairmen given are T. Daly, M.E. Sadler, J.E.D. Bethune, and W.W. Hunter. Now, this is a very tricky question because for all the four options, A, B, C, D have different chairmen given in the option. So, it is tricky because you have to know at least one committee and one chairman together. If you don't know, then it's very, very difficult for you to conclude at one correct answer. And the interesting part is even if you know one correct answer for sure, then you can choose the right option because all the four committees are matched with four different chairmen in each of these options. Of course, the correct answer is option 4, that is A4, B1, C2, D3. First Indian Education Commission in 1882 was by W. Hunter. Indian University Commission in 1904 was with P. Rayleigh. Calcutta University Commission, that is 1917 to 1919, was N.E. Sadler. Council of Education in 1842. I hope you found this video helpful. If you want me to solve paper 1 questions from any other question paper, do let me know in the comments below. And also let me know how many questions you got right today. If you found this video helpful, do like and share it with your friends and colleagues who might also be preparing for this exam. Subscribe to Scholars Mentor for more such videos.